The Princess and the Pea. In a kingdom known for its breathtaking mountains and gardens filled with marble fountains, there lived a young prince who longed for a true princess to marry. He was kind, thoughtful, and gentle, and he hoped to find someone who shared these qualities. But he didn't want any princess, he wanted someone genuine, honest, and graceful in spirit. Every season, messengers traveled to distant lands searching for a princess suitable for him. They visited castles with silver towers, palaces surrounded by rivers, and warm royal halls filled with music. Many princesses came to meet the prince. They wore glittering gowns, jewels that sparkled like stars, and crowns of gold. But the prince felt something missing each time. "She is charming," he might say, "but I don't feel she is the one." "She is graceful," he might whisper, "but perhaps not genuine." Soon the whole kingdom knew, their prince wanted a princess who was real, not in status, but in heart. One late evening, a storm blew across the countryside. Rain hammered rooftops, and thunder rolled like great drums in the sky. Lightning flashed, coloring the clouds white for a breath before vanishing. Wind whipped branches, sending leaves swirling through the castle courtyard like fluttering birds. In the midst of this chaos, the castle gatekeeper heard a knock, soft, but persistent. He lit a lantern and opened the heavy gate. There, drenched from head to toe, stood a young woman. Her hair clung to her cheeks, her dress soaked through and muddied from the storm. Water dripped from her sleeves and pooled around her feet. Yet she stood tall, her posture gentle but unwavering. "I am a princess," she said between breaths. "May I shelter here for the night?" The gatekeeper blinked in surprise and hurried her inside. The queen and prince came at once, startled to find someone claiming to be royalty in such a stormy state. The queen's eyes narrowed slightly, not out of cruelty, but curiosity. "Anyone can claim to be a princess," she murmured. "But perhaps we can learn the truth." The prince, concerned for her, guided her to the warm fireplace. Flames danced, casting golden light on her tired face. She removed her dripping cloak, revealing kind eyes and a soft voice. She thanked everyone sincerely for allowing her in. The queen watched her closely. "We shall see," the queen thought. Late that night, when everyone else slept, the queen went to a chamber high in the castle. Inside, the maids waited with blankets, quilts, and soft mattresses. "I need the highest bed ever made," the queen instructed. The maids stared, confused. The queen placed a single green pea on the bed frame. Then she instructed the maids to place 20 mattresses on top of the pea, each one thick as a cloud. On top of the mattresses, they laid 20 more feather beds, soft as down and warmer than sunshine. The stack rose so high it nearly touched the ceiling. A wooden ladder leaned against it like the trunk of a tall tree. The queen smiled. "If she is a true princess, she will feel that pea." The maids whispered among themselves. How could anyone feel something so small through all that bedding? But the queen believed a true princess had a gentle heart and delicate sensitivity to match. The sleeping chamber glowed with candlelight as the princess was guided inside. "This is your bed for the night," the queen said, her voice warm but watchful. The princess looked up, way up, at the towering bed. Her eyes widened, but she nodded politely. "Thank you," she said, even though she had never seen such a thing. She climbed the tall ladder carefully, her tired limbs trembling from the long journey and harsh storm. She crawled under the top quilt and closed her eyes. But sleep would not come. The moment she lay still, she felt something strange. A tiny bump beneath her. Something hard pressing through dozens of layers. She shifted. It followed. She turned. It remained. No matter how she lay, she felt discomfort digging into her side and back. "This bed is unusual," she whispered to herself. All night long, the princess tossed and turned. She shifted her pillow, spread the blankets, and tried to ignore the sharp little lump beneath her. But it was impossible. Her body ached as though she had been lying on stones instead of the softest mattresses in the world. The storm eventually passed, and the sky turned lavender with morning light. At breakfast, the queen asked calmly, "Did you sleep well, my dear?" The princess hesitated. She didn't want to seem ungrateful, but she also didn't want to lie. "I am grateful for the room," she said gently. "But I hardly slept at all. There was something small and hard in the bed. I fear I am bruised." The queen gasped softly. The prince's eyes widened. She felt it? Through all that bedding? The queen set down her teacup. "My child," she said warmly, "only a true princess could feel a tiny pea beneath 20 mattresses and 20 feather beds." The princess blinked in surprise. "A pea?" The queen nodded. "You have shown sensitivity, honesty, and gentleness. More importantly, you spoke the truth with kindness." The prince smiled, for he felt the truth in his heart. This princess was different, not because she felt a pea, but because she was graceful in spirit, sincere in her words, and polite even when uncomfortable. They spent the day speaking with her, learning her story, and discovering her kindness. She laughed lightly, listened with care, and walked with quiet grace. Her royal upbringing showed in her manners, but her heart revealed her true beauty. It wasn't long before the prince asked her to stay in the kingdom. Over time, their friendship blossomed into something deeper. The small pea was placed inside a glass case in the castle museum, where visitors could see the tiny thing that changed a prince's life. As for the princess, she was loved not for her sensitivity alone, but for her sincerity, kindness, and gentle spirit. And she and the prince lived happily in a kingdom filled with gardens, laughter, and the soft memories of a stormy night. Moral of the story: true worth is shown through honesty, kindness, and character. Not outward appearances, titles, or fancy clothes.